She was different, and she seemed to be more exciting. There's a lot of people that still think there's a lot of other. She's great for the sport. She's great for the game.
WNBA puts Angel Reese in her place after Caitlin Clark attack. Because no matter how many TikTok followers you rack up, the sport values skill, performance, and integrity over petty theatrics. Shocking, right?
But over the past couple of years, Angel Reese has allowed the disease of jealousy to destroy her career.
As the league inches closer to growing its actual fan base, Angel Reese is using old tactics to dominate the conversation with controversy. But WNBA is not taking it this time. It's not every day women's basketball serves up more drama than a daytime soap. But here we are.
Reese is the foil for Caitlin Clark and vice versa. Like, they don't have to get along. They don't have to like each other. They're competitors.
Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese. Two names turning the WNBA into a reality show packed with flagrant fouls, fiery exchanges, and social media meltdowns.
Because we're a bunch of doofuses and things like that, but this is the golden goose. This is the one. This is the generational, multi-generational player, and we're incredibly lucky that she's in Indianapolis, and she went fucking ham in the opener against the Chicago Sky.
Last weekend, when the Fever crushed the Chicago Sky, it wasn't just a game, it was a spectacle. And smack dab in the middle, Clark and Reese clashing hard enough to have everyone talking. But here's the question. Did the WNBA just reveal which side it's on?
There's no argument. I don't understand. People can yell until they're blue in the face. The proof's in the pudding. We've seen all the stuff. And you say, it is good for the sport at large, but I think a lot of people get turned on. It just always goes into a race thing, every single time.
Clark's controversial flagrant foul, the slap, the shove, the raw fury, lit up social media like wildfire. Reese's response? She went full drama queen, furious and theatrical.
But over the past couple of years, Angel Reese has allowed the disease of jealousy to destroy her career.
Words flew, probably things too spicy for TV, and the scene exploded until Fever's Aaliyah Boston had to step in to cool things off. But by then, the damage was done.
This is the reason the WNBA is investigating fake racism directed at Angel Reese. The diva of Dump Divas, Kat Engelbert. She has no problem looking into fake racism.
And the league is silent. A silence that is loud enough to raise eyebrows.
How in the hell is it unsafe for Angel Reese to play in Indiana? The only safety concern I see, every time she plays in Indiana, the Chicago Bravado, they get their ass kicked.
The fallout was instant and explosive. Media personalities jumped into the chaos with hot takes on who was right, wrong, or just annoying.
She was different, and she seemed to be more exciting than everybody else, but she also was an incredible passer and disher, and the way she went about her business, it was this girl's different.
Let's get real. This isn't just about a foul. It's about two players embodying opposite vibes going head-to-head in the most public way. Clark, the cool, composed assassin who lets her game do the talking, draining threes like a machine.
She became addicted to the attention. She became addicted to the notoriety.
Reese, the self-styled antagonist, throwing shade and drama like it's her trademark. One builds the game, the other fuels the noise. Can the WNBA really back one without alienating the other?
Pisses off everybody whenever we say it, and then obviously it becomes a whole thing because we're a bunch of doofuses and things like that, but this is the golden goose. This is the one. This is the generational, multi-generational player.
Here's the juicy part. Clark's numbers aren't just good, they're historic. That game pulled an average of 2.7 million viewers, peaking at 3.1 million.
Higher than it's ever been for the WNBA.
Yeah.
Congrats to Caitlin Clark.
That's right.
Nice.
It's crazy how it's always the Fever.
These aren't just stats, they're allowed take that to every WNBA doubter. So why does the league keep shining the spotlight on the drama instead of the record-breaking brilliance?
For the love of God, get this young woman off of social media. Someone needs to take away her phone, take away her laptop. Angel Reese and Caitlin Clark, they were the biggest stars in women's basketball. Hell, you can make the case that they were two of the biggest stars in all of basketball.
But somehow Reese's antics still steal the show. Every petty exchange gets dissected, memed, and amplified. While Clark quietly rewrites the rulebook on what it means to be a basketball phenom, Reese plays the league's most polarizing character.
So it's damn sure unsafe for her win-loss record.
The media? They spin Reese's theatrics as passion while painting Clark's dominance as arrogance. Is this strategic, or is the league just getting played?
And the situation at hand is that when Angel Reese walks in to the Indiana Fever Arena, she is no longer safe. She is not safe because there are some Indiana Fever fans who are racist.
Fans, though, see through the noise. Social media receipts and highlight reels don't lie. Clark's ice-cold poise and jaw-dropping skill win hearts and redefine dominance. Reese's antics? They're starting to feel less like confidence and more like overcompensation. How long can the WNBA ride this drama wave before it crashes?
Reese is the foil for Caitlin Clark and vice versa. Like, they don't have to get along. They don't have to like each other. They're competitors. Like, that, this kind of shit happens. But every single time something like this happens, and we have to go right back to
full on.
Yeah, exactly. And it doesn't get moved at all. So, like, we're not talking about the game. We're talking about that play.
But let's zoom out. Clark versus Reese isn't just a player rivalry. It's a clash of visions for the WNBA's future. But critics argue that it's not about the whole league, it's just one game. But Reese is more about stirring controversy than building a lasting legacy. Can the WNBA afford to let drama overshadow the game?
She has surpassed everybody in the amount of time that she has played in the WNBA. She fills up every arena in every town that she goes to.
Clark isn't just playing basketball, she's rewriting the playbook. Don't just take my word for it. Anonymous GMs across the league admit, if I'm building a franchise, I start with Clark. That's right. The ice-cold sniper draining impossible threes. Reese? Still struggling with free throws. The difference? Stark. But hey, who needs fundamentals when you've got side-eye and trash talk, right? So with Clark making history and Reese stuck on basics, how is this still a fair fight in the WNBA's eyes?
You can say whatever you want, but it's very obvious. And I think even the WNBA as like a whole, like their front league office, I guess, if you will, like they might not publicly,
They have publicly, though. They said, hey, all these games are primetime.
Yeah, exactly.
WNBA,
exactly.
all the Fever's games are primetime.
They got more primetime games than the Lakers.
Here's the kicker. The league's old guard clings to tradition, like basketball's some dusty museum piece. They're scared of Clark's dominant, unbothered superstar vibe because it shakes their comfortable system. The status quo is shaking, making some folks uneasy. Meanwhile, Clark's breaking the mold, changing how women's basketball is played and watched. So why let Reese's antics steal the spotlight from the real game changer? Because if the league can't see who's carrying it forward, what's the point? Speaking of Reese, primetime hasn't been kind to her like it has to Clark. Clark delivers basketball masterclasses every game, a symphony of skill and grace. Reese? Her flop reel might be viral somewhere. Remember when Clark helped Reese up after a fall? A friendly gesture. Reese turned it into WrestleMania drama. The contrast? Stark. Clark's post-game calm versus Reese's antics. Spoiler alert, fans know who's winning that battle. So in this primetime showdown, who really looks like the champion? And who's the sideshow?
And I had somebody tweet me this the other day before we talked about Caitlin's debut. You better talk about the biggest star in Indianapolis this year or whatever. And it's like, I'm not good at talking about I don't know enough about the WNBA to talk about it, but I do know enough about business. I do know enough about a superstar, and Caitlin Clark is both of those things.
Fans flock to Clark's games, breaking rating records. Reese's storyline? Lost in translation, swallowed by the noise she creates. Ironically, Clark is the one pulling viewers in, turning non-fans into diehards. Reese? More interested in Instagram moments than a lasting court legacy. The fans have spoken. Clark's the star they want. Reese is just the distraction. But with the league focused on the distraction, how long before Clark leaves Reese and the WNBA behind?
teams have to go to bigger arenas so that they can try to profit off the Caitlin Clark train coming to town. Most 20-point, 10-assist games in WNBA history, which I think you could say, yeah, that's a good game. Like that's how you classify. Vandersloot, obviously, 430 games played, had 10 of them. Diana Taurasi, people talk about it as the GOAT, right?
The GOAT.
Damn
Yeah.
right. You're damn right.
564. Where'd she go to school?
UConn.
Okay. 565 games played. She has 9 20-point, 10-assist games. And then Caitlin Clark, 41 games played.
Let's be real. Caitlin Clark is basically the Steph Curry of women's basketball, shooting from the parking lot and making it look easy. But it's not just the shot. It's her ability to change the whole game, making the WNBA exciting like never before. Her fan base isn't casual. They're loyal, ready to rally behind her. Reese? Still figuring out the next Instagram caption while Clark revolutionizes the sport. So if Clark is the future and Reese is stuck in the past, who's the league's biggest problem?
To the Fever, and what she has done for this city and for this team is unbelievable.
Clark's game isn't just winning games. It's turning heads worldwide, making skeptics take notice. She's bringing new audiences who wouldn't have cared about women's basketball before. The league needs this star power, but strangely lets the circus around Reese dominate headlines. If the WNBA wants growth, it desperately does. It must stop fueling drama and put Clark front and center. Otherwise, the league risks becoming a reality show with basketball as the sideshow. So why is the league still playing referee to Reese's drama instead of backing Clark's talent?
One has managed to keep her mouth shut, one has remained focused on basketball, while the other is making cameos and doofus rap videos. She's hosting a shitty podcast that no one is watching, where she interviews rappers that no one's ever heard of.
Here's the bottom line. Caitlin Clark isn't just playing. She's changing the game. If the WNBA has any sense, it'll back her instead of letting Angel Reese's antics overshadow the league's future. The question: does the league have the guts to make that call? Because right now, drama's winning, and that's bad news for anyone who loves the sport. If the WNBA lets drama drive the story, who's left to cheer for the actual game?
Are we really doing this again? Didn't we live through this exact same fantasy?
Now the league's finally waking up. Kind of. Clark hogs the primetime spotlight because, money talks. The league schedules her games when the most eyes are watching. Reese is on TV too, but mostly playing the villain in Clark's blockbuster story. The WNBA's little soap opera, but with trash talk instead of love triangles. But the question is the league making the most of this attention or fumbling like rookies?
Where WNBA dump divers were complaining about the mythical racism in Indiana, here we are 12 months later. There has not been a single piece of evidence released proving these unsubstantiated claims.
Turns out the WNBA is still clueless about marketing this goldmine of talent and drama. Millions watch, but the league misses half the signs on how to keep them hooked. It's like handing someone a winning lottery ticket and forgetting to scratch it. Clark breaks records and builds fans while the league debates if the drama's too much. Reese's role as the bad guy feels like a desperate last resort, not a savvy plan. If the WNBA keeps dropping the ball promoting its brightest star, who will carry the league forward? Clark isn't a flash in the pan. She's rewriting the WNBA history books. Fans show up in droves, records topple, and standards soar. Reese? Still stuck in Clark's shadow, chasing a story beyond the usual antics. The league's growth rides on Clark, admit it or not. She drives the WNBA forward. Others are just trying to catch up. So the real question, will the league crown Clark queen or pretend this saga is about anyone else? Like this video and subscribe to the channel to know about Clark Reese controversy in another season of WNBA.